We've come out now to a spot that we can fish over the high. I've not fished here before, so I don't really know how it's going to go, but the rods are out. I know this place can show up a few bass and whatnot, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, rigs are out, one pulley, one paternoster, both with prawn and squid cocktails on, and we'll see where that gets us. I'll bring you back if anything happens. There we go, first fish, little doggy, absolutely nailed. It's not really what we want to be catching, but they're all welcome. Chuck him back, get that rod back out. A local came up earlier and said quite often the bass turn up just after the turn, so we'll hang about. We've got a little while yet, still got a couple of hours, so we'll get this rod out and see if anything comes along. Well, I thought I'd give you guys a little chance to have a look, see where we are. Right at the end of this lovely promenade here. Massive cliffs up behind us. Lovely spot, the weather's nice, might not be the best weather for fishing, but either way. So, kit we're using today, got two Century Fireblade GTs, Pen Fathom 2 15s on there. I said about the rigs and everything earlier. One paternoster, one pulley, and at the moment we've got one rod just out over here somewhere, and over here one rod just in close. So we'll see how we get on. I'm feeling pretty hopeful. That's something that's been a game changer, moving away from seat boxes and going with a rucksack. The only thing it left to want was somewhere to sit. And these little chairs you pick up for about 12 quid from Temu, and you get them cheap on Amazon and everything as well. And you clip them together, stick material on, and they all collapse down into a tiny little bag about the size of that rig bit sort of case, and drop straight in the rucksack as well. So highly recommend. Well, there's got to be something over here. We've got a fishing boat now passing through, so we've got to be doing something right, hopefully, in where we've picked. Right, bring you back if anything happens. They're going out into the wind now, so having to put a bit more oomph behind them. That's out there. That should be good. And hopefully that little bit of prawn will give us something. Sit back in the chair. Much comfier than what a seat box is, I know that. And now we can sit here, have a drink, relax a bit, no doubt wait for the next doggy. Well, this is that rod with that chunk of prawn on. Just took another big lunge. Not sure, you know. There's a fair bit of weed out there today, so I've got a feeling that's probably all it's going to be. I think we'll bring it in, put it back out a little bit closer in. Yeah, I can see a big old ball of weed coming up now. This isn't ideal, getting weeded out. The only saving grace is it's all pretty clean ground out in front of us. Got a paddle boarder now who's decided to come right across the front of me. Hopefully he doesn't end up getting tangled up with that other rod. There's all the things I was planning on reeling in today. A paddle boarder wasn't really one of them. We've avoided catching a paddle boarder. He's made it past. It's always nice. Better for him and better for me. Bait's still looking exactly as I put it out, so at least we know they aren't just instantly getting demolished by crabs there. Right, let's have this back out. I'll hold it back a little bit. Yeah, that's in a nice spot there. I'm happy with that. Right, we're just gonna have a little check on this other rod. This one's close in, just sort of along by the cliffs. Well, that is not ideal. Well, while I said it was clean ground in front of here, it looks like we have found a snag. The line's not grated up. A clean break, so it's a bit of an unlucky turn. We'll get some shock leader out and we'll get a new bit of leader on that. What is nice is this is a really nice place to fish. Normally here in Kent we're sort of restricted to steep sloping shingle beaches. There's a couple of piers around, a couple of flatter beaches around, but for the most part it's all steep shingle. So coming and fishing a much cleaner mark like this is definitely a bit of a treat. Like I say, I've not fished here before. I knew it was here and I thought, well, maybe it's worth a go. It was one of the only places that it looked like the weather wasn't going to be too much of a problem. Alright, let's get that wound on. Nice, I'm happy with where that is. So inside my rucksack, I'll go over this now. I basically have one of these long cases. They're made by Advanta. You can pick them up in like Angling Direct. They're cheap as chips, but they make really good little good little boxes for keeping everything in this one. Don't be wrong, I wouldn't normally have sunglasses in there, but for some reason I in this one I basically keep everything as like sort of what you're going to need for your session. So I've got some forceps in there, bait elastics in there, scissors, T-bar, filleting knife, couple of leads, tools for the multipliers in there as well, so if anything goes wrong with one of them, I'll at least try and get fishing with it again. So that one stays sort of permanently out, so I use it for baiting up, unhooking and anything else. What's going on with this mic? And then in the rucksack I basically have this bigger one. Hopefully you'll somewhat be able to see. You get sort of like a larger compartment here. These are all more of those pouches but small, and just they all fit inside of this bigger one, so it helps keep everything organised. We'll have a pouch there where I have some spare line, spare leaders, some heavier rig body and stuff. This one over here I'll keep some leads in, lead lifts, rotten bottoms, stuff like that for if it's needed. A small one with just loads of odds and sods of components, you know, all the loose swivels, got reel clamps in there, nail clippers, some breakaways, all sorts of little links and odds and sods. Another small one full of hooks, different sizes, different patterns, so depending where I turn up to fish, like I say, them Trident rigs come as just the rig body, and then you tie up your own traces. So carry a good selection of hooks, purely so that depending what we turn up to or what we decide we're going to target, we'll have a hook for the job. And then in this one at the moment is just packed full of all different rig components, stuff like that. If I decide that one of the Trident rigs maybe doesn't suit what I'm trying to do, I've got everything with me still to be able to tie another rig up. Right, that's it, I'm back. So the rig wallets I use are these. They're a bit old now, but to be honest they've lasted really well and in great condition. But they're by Grays. You open them up, you get a load of wallets. I think there's, how many is there actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wallets to a bay as such. They just velcro on and off, so you can organise them however you like. You could just take one load of rigs, leave the wallet at home or something. You're going for a very light session and know what you want to use, just take one lot of that. And then they also have these nice little zipped compartments where you can keep all odds and sods. So I've got some like some of the Trident lead fixing systems there, the rotos, the kickers. Carry some Gemini rig tubing, silicone, so I can, if I need to make up bait stops or anything, or rig stop, protect a knot, anything like that, I can quickly use a little section of silicone to do that. And then in the top one, some spare elastics, some spare hook links, and got a pack of my favourite hooks up there, which, if anyone was wondering, are the Cox & Rule Stinger Extras. Very nice hooks. They're offset as well, so you've got much better chance of a hook up with one of those. And yeah, that's basically what I bring with me and how I fish. To be honest, I like to have everything that I might need, but still with as little as necessary. So I try not to end up filling the rucksack up too much, but it's quite nice. It's organised enough now. I can set up pretty quickly, I can pack down pretty quickly, and more importantly, unlike the seat boxes with the breakaway conversions, they get pretty uncomfortable carrying them for long distances. They're very bulky, not too forgiving. Rucksack's way better. This one's a VAS one, and it's a million times more comfortable than what my old seat box was. I wasn't sure how I was going to find changing over to a rucksack at first, but I can't say I regret it at all. I've sold my old seat box now, and I think you'd have a hard time getting me to use another one. Well, another dogfish. That was on the rod that we just put the fresh rig on. Had a whole squid, and yeah, rod went mad, to be fair. For a tiny dogfish, it was quite surprising. But either way, that's it's one more to the tally. Again, not what we're targeting, not really what we want, but one more is one more. So we're getting back now quickly. Get another bait on that rig and get it back out, eh? Right, I'll bring you back. Now the tide's turned, I'm not getting as bashed about by weed again, so I can start putting rigs out a little bit further. So we're trying to get this one up in the air nicely. Or just bash my bait into my other reel. Could also just do that. Mucky old baits, these prawn heads. Right, that's that clipped up. Line's nice and free. Let's have a crack at getting this out there. It's not a bad old chuck. Put that down there. Well, that went out quite nicely, that one. I'm not really proficient at pendulum casting, to be honest, until today. I hadn't hit a pendulum cast in probably 5 or 6 years. And earlier on, while I was putting one out, I thought, well, give it a little try, see how it goes. It didn't turn into an absolute disaster, so I think a little bit of practice and probably be nicely back into the swing of things. Cool bag's still doing a nice little job of keeping them baits all right. So yeah, I think at some point we're going to get some field practice in. Do a little bit of pendulum practice. If you can figure it out, it is a very, very efficient way of casting. You do need the room. And again, majority of the places we fish are steep, shingly beaches. You don't really have the room to do a big open wide pendulum, because you'll end up just slamming your lead into the shingle behind you. So every now and again, coming onto a nice little prom like this, especially at the moment, it's dead quiet. There's absolutely no one for missions to the right of me. As far as I can see, there's no one. So no one's really in any danger if a cast does go wrong. And if there was people off to that side of me, I certainly wouldn't be doing it. I'd sooner just pick one up off the ground, or even just a sort of gentle swinging cast, just lifting that lead up behind me and then turning round just to get it up a little bit. But yeah, to be honest, maybe that'll make an alright video. Go down to a field somewhere, stuff a lead in a tennis ball, and do a bit of casting practice. To be honest, it'd probably be well worth it for me at the moment. And it's something that I suppose is simple enough to do. I'm not relying on a tide for it, so I think we'll probably give that a go. Right, that rod's back out there, seems to be sitting nicely. So keep an eye on them and bring you back if anything good happens. Maybe another doggy. Right, let's have a check of this rod. Make sure the camera comes with us. It does. Absolutely nada on the close-in rod. And while the aim isn't to catch more dogfish, I think I might put this one back out at range as well. It's a little, yeah, that's come back completely untouched. No, abort that. I'll tell you what, if you can learn to abort a cast that doesn't feel right, that will save you from time to time. See ya. That is absolutely gone. Overall, not too displeased with the pendulum casts. Something I've not done in such a while, don't be wrong. I imagine that is not perfect by any means. Probably looks a little bit sloppy. But overall, they're going out there a good distance and they're going out there straight. And that's what matters really. What really matters is if they get to the fish. That matters more. But we'll leave it out there to soak for a bit. See if anything happens or not. Got Border Patrol and RNLI boat out there at the moment. Just ploughing along through. So it's nice down here just to be able to sit here and the amount of stuff you see. Constant boats going up and down. With fishing boats up and down here, Border Patrol up and down here, RNLI up and down here. So it's nice. Easy to stay occupied. Water level's really dropping now. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to have, but I'll keep the baits going out until they start feeling like they're plugging. And once they're plugging, I won't give it loads longer than that. That's going to be the last chuck now. We're losing a lot of water. It's a bit too shallow out in front of here to muck about or bother with trying to fish over low. I think it literally reduces down to a couple of foot of water, and that's if you're really sending them out. So we'll give them 5 minutes out there, see if anything happens. If it does, it's good. And if it doesn't, that'll be it for the day. Well, it's everything all packed up now. I thought I'd give you a quick view of what it's been like behind us. That's what I mean, that's real shallow out there. Turns out it was quite rough over that side. Let me spin you round. There we go. So this is what we've been fishing over. To be honest, there was a little bit rougher than what I realised, and there's a really nice little shingle bank just down there. I think we're definitely going to be coming back. Definitely going to be coming back. It's a lovely spot. These lovely cliffs. Really, really nice place. So I'm gonna grab everything now, chuck it over my shoulder, and that'll be that, I think. We'll make the walk back. It's quite a stomp back to where the van's parked now. So I'll make the walk back and call it a day. Head home, get some food.